Hey, peace, love, and light. T.O. Clay, light bulb lessons once again. And we back. Another episode. You can see this big old huge grin and smile on my face because man, I'm so crazy excited for my featured guest today. Um, I know a lot of people around the globe, man, and as I always say, man, it's about leadership. It's about, trying to live this life out here to the best of our ability, putting up our foot and our feet, forward. And I can honestly tell you, it's nothing though like family, man. My grandmother taught me many years ago, when it's all said and done, don't ever, grandson, forget about your family. Always put your family first. And this young gentleman I got with me today, um, near and dear to my heart. His mother is my big cousin. Shout out to Cheryl. Shout out to the whole family. But again, this is Cheryl's oldest son, uh, Brett Higgins, man, and he goes by the stage name of B-HITZ. And again, it would be remiss, to not say that, you know, as many people, like I said, as I know, man, blessed to know, grateful to know, it's nothing like this moment of exchange right here with my young cousin, man, that's out here doing it big. And without further ado, uh, for all the people out there, man, I'd like to introduce you to my family, Mr. Brett Higgins, man. How you doing today, family? What up?
I am blessed and highly favored. I'm so well. I'm way better than I deserve. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be on the podcast. Man, it's
Yeah, man.
beautiful. We just talked Friday, and here we are.
Yes.
So it's a beautiful thing. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for where your podcast is going. And I'm excited just to be here right here in this moment because I'm all about moments. And this is a beautiful moment, man.
Yeah, bro. That's what it is. It's the light bulb lesson, man. It's the light bulb moment. They're, they're
So
both they're both one and the same, Brett. So, like you said, these moments are so powerful. These moments are so amazing. And again, our ancestors looking back down right now in this moment, they always omnipresent, Brett, and they saying, "Hey, there it is, right there. Family still bonding, family still doing what they got to do together, man." So that's very powerful, man. So, opening up, man. I'm sure the listeners out there, hey, they want to hear about you, man. They know a little bit about T.O. Clay, but man, what's up with you, man? Like in the current moment right now, man. Where are you in life, man? Talk to us, bro.
And I am heavy in music. I'm an artist, and I'm blessed to be able to use my voice and to share music with so many folks. This past
Mhm.
weekend, my co-writing singing partner and we were actually awarded the best indie folk um, act of the Appalachian region, which actually spans for like 14 states.
Oh man.
And we're putting in a lot of work, and we don't do what we do for accolades and awards, but it is a beautiful thing to be recognized for your passion. And
Yeah, bro.
yeah, that's what I'm doing, man. I'm just writing a lot, creating a lot, singing a lot, sharing a lot, and always open to new ideas, new opportunities, and just
Hmm.
just excited for what's next.
Yeah,
Really.
bro. That's
Yeah.
amazing, dog. That's again, bro. Like, we talk a lot on Light Bulb Lessons about living in your purpose, man. Executing your why. And
Hmm.
and and I've heard you, cause I've tapped in, man, listen to you, on those motivational Mondays, and I know it's days you'll hop on Facebook and you just sharing, you're sharing those ideas of being a better person, being a better man, being at our zenith of what we could be, man. So share with me a little bit about that, man. What's that inner deep passion for you that got you out here, man, just wanting to give that value?
So you know what? The internet, a lot. I noticed, especially at the time before I started Marvelous Monday, was just
Hmm.
in such a bad and negative light,
Right.
and it was getting a bad rap. So there's always a positive spin we can put on things,
Mm-hmm.
even in our darkest times. These are times that we could be growing, we could be learning something. Why are we here? Well, I remember before Marvelous Monday came about, I was just praying for direction, and what can I do to to put a positive spin on Mondays,
Right.
because a lot of people call it manic Mondays. And all when you ask someone how they were doing on a Monday, it's like, well, it's Monday. No, I don't know. It's a day that it was not promised to you. So
Absolutely.
look at it in that light, in that aspect. So when I was praying about it and just trying to figure out what I could do to try to put some kind of light or positive on Mondays, I just kept hearing in my head, Marvelous Monday, Marvelous Monday, Marvelous.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of Marvelous Monday is basically to have a positive message, a positive quote most of the time, of course, a Bible verse, excuse me, to start the Marvelous Monday, and
Right.
just something positive to start the week off versus manic,
Mm.
because we have enough negativity in places. Why not try your best to spread positivity and a spin on things that people probably weren't used to or aren't used to or weren't
Mm-hmm.
and yesterday was episode, what, I believe 312. So it's been going on for years.
Wow.
Just being faithful on my part and continuing to do my part to share light and use the internet in more of a positive way than we're used to. Yeah.
Man, that's amazing, dog. Uh, you said some heavy stuff, man. Just in that small piece. Uh, and I would say that the number one word for me, Brett, to extract out of that, man, is
Mm-hmm.
is positive.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I collect records, man, and I got some records over here. I've been collecting probably since 12, 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those records over there is from a legendary group called Gangstar, with the legendary Guru and DJ Premier. And they got a joint called Positivity. And I've always loved that song. That song spoke to me in a way that I knew that, man, it's that positive energy always comes back,
Right.
and I've done a lot of study on it, Brett. I've done a lot of study on it, and I like taking those simple analogies, like, you know, being able to take the positive cable and the negative cable, you put it on that battery, and most times, more often than not, that engine's going to start up. But if you take that negative and you plug it on that positive and vice versa, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get that ill reverse spark,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely that car's not going to start. So uh, I love just the aspect of positivity, man. And I see you doing that, young cuz. And shout out to James Clay, man. Big cuz. I know he's your uncle. Uh, Shout out to Tim Higgins. Shout out to Chad Higgins. Shout out to so many individuals that I see, over the years, just trying to give that positivity. So again, man, it's in your blood.
Yes,
Shout out to your pops, man.
sir.
Uh, rest in peace to your pops, man.
There,
Big shout out.
there
And I
he
was
is.
telling, say again, I'm sorry.
There he is right there behind me.
Yeah, bro. That's right.
The picture right there.
That's right, man. And I know he's looking down, and I know he's proud of this movement, man, because that's what I see it as. It's a movement, bro. So when did you realize, Brett, that you had a knack to sing? When did you recognize that talent, bro?
Man, that was early. It was early.
Yeah.
Probably out of the womb, honestly. I no, super early. Grew up in church, and dad was the head of the choir in church and stuff like that.
Right.
And I knew at an early age that I had it. It was a gift. It was a gift, and that was something that I was definitely going to be doing something with. I always had that feeling. I always had that no, and I always had confirmation in one another. You know, either people coming up and telling me how much, you know, my voice and the way that I feel what I'm singing has touched them, and like that. So early age, early age, early age.
That's awesome, man. We were talking a little bit ago, and I asked you about my niece, those different elements of the voice, man. You know, can you break that down for us, man? Just the what is it, the alto, soprano?
Yes.
You spoke some things that really perked my ears. Can you kind of break that down in terms of that theology of singing, like those different ranges and different styles, man? Can you speak on that for me, bro?
So what we're talking about earlier was, you know, Chavez, because she's definitely in the vein more of an alto, where, you know, Anita, that just smooth butter, deeper tone. It just, I don't know what it is about the alto, but that speaks to me and resonates with me more than any other um, any other tone, really. The alto, but I mean, you know, soprano. You got some bad sopranos out there. You got Mariah. You got, you know, hey, Whitney Houston, that could be in the register of alto, but when they get in that soprano, it just cold chills and takes you to another level. But um, as far as that goes with, you know, me and recognition of that, I can recognize it, but I don't um, harp on it. I just go where I go, and I know those people that sing in their capabilities. They just go where they go. They don't think about it. They just do it because the practice has been there. You put in the work. You put in the practice. You've had lessons. You do what you do to take care of your voice, and you just trust the process. So when you put in the work, you just go, and that's in anything. You know, whatever you're taught, you just go with that, and you know the results will show whether or not you've stayed with it or you continue with it and you grow and all those things. So yeah.
What would you consider your style, man? Like where do you fit? What's your style,
The
Brett?
crazy thing with me and my style is it's extremely versatile. I was
Mm,
I was raised, you know, riding up and down the Tennessee and stuff like that at night, listening to classic rock station that actually had not only classic rock, but it had classic R&B, soul. It had the old school, the new school, and it had a touch of everything. You know, from anywhere from Bryan Adams to Marvin Gaye to Sade to the Eagles, Rolling Stones. So I mean, it's just my influence is super versatile, super heavy. You know, I love Bill Withers. I love Marvin. I love, you know, listening to Al Green, um, and then again, you know, the rock as well. You know, Aerosmith. Man, I'm a huge fan of Tyler. Man, a huge fan of Tyler.
he's iconic, man. He's iconic, bro.
Super, and he just sings with such conviction. You know, his voice got so much conviction in it, and it those folk, Michael Jackson, you know, one of my favorites of all time. You just hear so much in that voice, and that's the only way I know how to do, and that's where, you know, my heart is with people that have all their heart in what they do and what they sing.
Yeah, I can see that, bro. I mean, you getting excited just talking about it, bro. And you know, uh, I love hip hop, Brett. You know that. And the first time I saw that video of "Walk This Way," man,
Yeah.
is when I fell in love with Steven Tyler. You know, and then it's just so many other songs. You know, I got Aerosmith records over there right now, and like you said, you know, we're African American, yes, but our range of music extends beyond just the African American culture aspect of music, and I love hearing that come out of your mouth, man, because I'm the same way, bro. Like, you know, been in the military, driving up and down the freeways and byways over the years. uh if it touched the soul, I'm listening to it.
Yeah,
Has nothing to do with race. You know what I'm saying? Has nothing to do with race. Man, music is true therapy. It is true medicine, bro. And I could definitely hear that coming from you. You know, the Beatles,
yes.
uh, Jimi Hendrix.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so many influences. Music has rode the wave of life, in my opinion. You know, being overseas and really getting into the aspect of, you know, the more Asian, you know, style of music. Been over in the Middle East, you know, hearing that vibe of music. So yeah, that's very special, man. And you said something about just being free. You said being free with the voice, man.
Yes.
Do you ever feel nervousness, man, when you go on stage?
It's crazy. I don't. You know, and people are surprised when I tell them that. But it's I think it's part of my gift, and
Mm-hmm.
part of the blessing that I've been given is not to be nervous, because I've got a message to deliver. I've got some healing to
Ooh.
someone's life, and
Yeah.
I can't be nervous. I've got to go out there and do it. Me, the more people I know are in the audience, the more people I see, the more hype I get. The more complete opposite of nervous I get. It's not that I'm nervous with a small group of people, but
Mm-hmm.
the merrier. And I mean, I know that's already a saying, but seriously, that's the way I feel before I go out on stage. And when I'm out on stage, I feed off of faces. I feed off of emotion from them, and
Yeah.
you know, I give my infinity each and every time, because you never know when your last performance is. So
Mm.
be nervous about that. I got to go and give whomever out there what they came for.
Hey, 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 for everybody out there that's tuned in, dialed in, listening across the airwaves, checking us out on YouTube. It's T.O. Clay Lightbulb Lessons. I got my cousin with me. You know, he's an artist, musically inclined, talented. Brett Higgins, aka B-HITZ. And man, boy, you dropping some real light bulb lessons today, man. Lord have mercy. You dropping some light bulb lessons. And for all our peoples back home, man, shout out to Winchester, shout out to Lexington, Louisville,
Which,
all across the state, man. You know, the Tri-City, you know, Cincinnati, Louisville, Lex.
mhm.
Uh, y'all gotta check him out, man. And again, bro, segueing, dog, you said when you get on stage, you don't feel that nervousness. And you said, hey, I'm feeding off of the crowd. You know, I like seeing the faces. I like feeling that raw energy that we spoke about a minute ago. I believe that's when you are really in your superpower. You're really in your purpose, because it's, you know, I used to always tell Marines, Brett, because you think about it, man, the situation at hand, you know, I've been in those austere moments. Another light bulb lesson that, man, we may not come back. That's
Mhm.
just being honest, you know. And it's like I would always talk about the butterfly effect. I would tell the Marines, like, hey, it's okay to have those butterflies, because those butterflies within you are stirring up that inner you to go and do what you're trained to do. We train to do this consistently, you know, without cease. So, like you said, the training's there. When you're talking about picking up that mic, you know, coming out of the womb, understanding that gift of music that you have in your body, and you're giving it to the world, man. You're putting it on display. Musically, are you one of those cats like James Brown that, dog, you hear the music and you want it to be that specific way, or build on that, man? Like how are you in terms of the actual instrumentation, man? What are you looking for when you're hearing this music?
That's a good question. I do hear certain things, and I'm like, you know, this would be a nice way to have it come across. But you know, Donnie Bowling and I, which is, you know, one of my, you know, my brother, that I do most music with, the one I was talking about earlier, we were having a conversation with brother T.D. Young, which is a legend here in Lexington, and blues legend. And he said it best, which I've always thought this, but I want to say he was talking to Buddy Guy one day, and Buddy said, if the music, if there's not some small error somewhere in there, then it's not real music. Music isn't perfection, but music is what it is, and it's sounds and its interpretation of what you're hearing and stuff like that. So yes, you may hear something perfect, but however it comes out is the way it's supposed to be. Just like in life, whatever happens, that's the way it's supposed to happen, and you can either adapt or you can be stagnant. But me and those people around me, I try to influence and try to inspire them to find what it means in that moment and to grow in that moment. Just like on stage, if something happens that you weren't expecting, if there's a miscue, you just go with it. You go with it. The show goes on. So, yes, I do hear stuff a certain way, but stuff is not always put out the way that I hear it.
Right.
Oh, that the way it's put out is the way it's supposed to be.
Right. Indeed. It does.